Hello, fifth graders. How are you all doing? This is Miss Fatin and welcome to a new science lecture video in which we are still talking about plants. Plants are like us, living organisms, so they need food to live and grow. Different plants follow different patterns of nutrition. As you all know now, there are three different patterns of nutrition. There is this followed by green plants. Some plants are called symbiotic plants. And at last, we have the carnivorous plants. Let's start with the green plants, which are considered as producers. So these plants are called producers since they produce their own food through an important process called photosynthesis. To go through photosynthesis, plants need three different ingredients. They need water from the soil, carbon dioxide from the air, and sunlight energy to combine water and carbon dioxide. By this process, plants produce their own food, which is a kind of sugar, and they release oxygen into the atmosphere. Symbiotic plants are plants that need help. They cannot produce their own food by themselves. And there are three different types of symbiotic relationships. Let's start with mutualism. Then we have commensalism and parasitism. Mutualistic relationships happen between organisms that benefit from each other. We took the example of lichen between a mushroom and an alga. This happens when a mushroom provides the alga with water and minerals. The alga use water and minerals or use water to cook and produce its food, and it gives some food in return to the mushroom. In this relationship, both organisms benefit. So the mushroom is happy, he's getting the food he needs, the mushroom gets the food it needs, and the alga gets the water it misses. In this relationship, both organisms are happy. As an example of commensalism, we talked about barnacles and whales. Barnacles benefit from living on the backs and bellies of whales, while whales do not care. They get nothing from this relationship. Another example is the example of the orchids using the tree as a shelter, as a habitat. In this relationship, the orchids are happy, the trees do not care. They are neither helped nor harmed. Let's talk about parasitism, in this case, we have a parasite. The parasite benefits from the host. So the parasite is happy, it benefits, and the second, which is the host, is harmed. An example of parasitic relationships was this of the Australian Christmas tree. The Australian Christmas tree is actually a producer. It goes through photosynthesis to produce its own food, but this food is not enough. So the tree needs to get food in somehow. It steals, it absorbs the nutrients of green plants in its surrounding, in its environment. So it is harming the green plant around it. Carnivorous plants, such as the Venus flytrap, are plants that go also through photosynthesis. So they are producers. They produce their own food, but the food they produce is not enough. So they need also to find another way they consume tiny animals such as insects, mice, and frogs. There are three patterns of nutrition in plants. Green plants are plants that go through photosynthesis. What do green plants need to grow? Green plants are living organisms. They have different needs to live and grow. And to produce their own food, to go through photosynthesis, green plants need a gas from the air, which is the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon dioxide. This is the scientific formula or writing of the carbon dioxide. Green plants also need water or H2O. So H2O for water, big H, small 2, big O, H2O for water. Plants also use sunlight energy. How does a plant get its needs? Let's see. Let's start with the carbon dioxide. To breathe, to exchange air with the outside or with the environment, we use our nose. The oxygen enters the body by the nose. It moves through the trachea to reach the lungs, right? But plants do not have lungs or noses. What do plants do? Plants use the tiny openings found on the under surface of their leaves. So on the back, on the under surface of the leaves, you'll see dots. These are the stomata used to take in carbon dioxide and take out oxygen by the plant. So the stomata found in the plant's leaves are super important for the plant. They help it to take in carbon dioxide. What about water? I think you all know the answer. What helps a plant get the water it needs? For sure, the roots. The roots are the hidden part of the plant. They are found in the soil, and they help absorbing and taking the water and the minerals from the soil. So here are the roots of this plant, and the roots help to take in water from the soil to the plant. Plants need also the roots to absorb minerals. We didn't mention minerals in the ingredients needed by the plant for photosynthesis. Minerals aren't engaged in a direct way in photosynthesis, so they are not used in the food making process or photosynthesis, but they are super important for the plant. They help the plant to grow in a healthy way. So they are not engaged in photosynthesis, but the plant needs minerals to grow healthy. How do roots help the plant? Roots help the plant to absorb minerals from the soil and also to absorb water from the soil. And here is an example of a plant that we didn't water for one day. Did you see? Lacking of one of its need will let the plant stop growing and will harm the plant. How does a plant take in sunlight energy? Look at these. Can you see the discs of green things? These green things are called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is a substance found in the leaves or in the green parts of a plant. The chlorophyll is super important since it gives the plant its green color and it also catches sunlight energy. So without chlorophyll, the plant cannot catch sunlight. This is why I keep telling you that the plant needs to be green to go through photosynthesis. Let's imagine a plant that is not green. Does it have chlorophyll? No. Can it catch sunlight energy? No. Without sunlight energy, can the plant go through photosynthesis? No. So the plant has no food. Chlorophyll is important. It is found in the leaves of a plant. It has two functions. The first one is to give the plant its green color. The second one is to catch sunlight energy needed for photosynthesis. Here is a quick review. Plants take in carbon dioxide through their stomata, the stomata found on the undersurface of their leaves. So stomata to take the carbon dioxide or the CO2, the roots to absorb water, and the chlorophyll to catch sunlight energy. Once the plant get all its need, carbon dioxide and water, light, it uses the energy of the sunlight to combine carbon dioxide and water together and produce its food, which is a kind of sugar. And this food making process is called photosynthesis, the food making process that green plants go through. Try to say it with me. Photosynthesis is the food making process that green plants go through to make the food it needs. And again, the stomata are used to take in carbon dioxide. The roots are used to take in water. Here is a plant taking in carbon dioxide. Just a second. The plant takes in carbon dioxide. It takes in water. It uses sunlight energy to produce its own food. The leaves use the energy from the light to combine CO2 and H2O. Always remember, when we want to write CO2, we must have a small 2 next to the O. Same case for the H2O. H2O, small 2. Look at the figure. Look at the diagram. H2O, written this way, CO2. So the plant combines CO2 and H2O together using sunlight energy to produce food and to release oxygen in the air. This food making process is called photosynthesis. Always remember that minerals are super important for the plant, but they are not engaged in the food making process. Identify the materials needed by a plant to live and grow. Plants need carbon dioxide from the air, water from the soil, and sunlight energy from the sun. Plants also use minerals from the soil. If a plant lacks any of these elements, it will die in a few times. So the plant needs to get all its needs. What's photosynthesis is? It's the food making process that green plants go through to produce its own food, and for this we call green plants producers. For any questions about the lesson, I'm always available, especially in my office hour on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Lebanon time. Okay, if you have any question, join me and I will be happy to see you and to clarify and explain everything. Take care. Bye-bye.